All right, guys. Apparently, old Nyobu here, LP, writer and creator Nyobi. If you haven't met me yet, apparently I am cooking. That's what the kids say, right? I am cooking. I have gone viral. I am a viral sensation. That is what's happening here in the world of comic books. As you can see, I was on this guy's channel. I can't even pronounce his name here. Swagglehos. Swagglehos, is that right? He was gracious enough to do a open call-in stream where people can talk about their gripes about comic books, whether it's the CGC fiasco or the whole market retailer roundtable thing that went down with Mark Miller, whatever the case may be. He had an open forum. And it's been a long time since I swam in those waters of the comic book speculator community. And I went for a swim. I took a dive. In fact, I went head first into the water, not knowing if it was shallow ground or not. Not knowing if all these guys who were watching, and there was a few names that I recognized, like Alex the Comic Quarter and Who Dat Comics and Collectibles. People I used to run with back in the day were in there watching this program. And out of all of the callers that Swagglehos here could make a shorter video out of, like the live clips, he chose me. He chose me. He chose yours truly to go ahead and do that. So I thought it would be fun. We would watch my appearance on here because I know most of the people that visit my channel have no idea who Swagglehos is. Maybe you'll go over and check him out. And you can see my very cute face because this guy insisted on a camera. That was the part that bothered me. But whatever, I went on cam.
He is pretty fucking cute.
I just don't want to blind people with my cuteness. You got what I'm saying here? But what we're going to do is we're going to watch this, watch my appearance, and then we're going to read the comments on his channel. Because there's a few of them. And I think that'll be fun to do. So a little break outside of the Eric July thing. We're talking about me. We're talking about the man who was cooking the other night. Here we go. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna get right into this.
Nyobi, thank you for finding a camera for me. I'm bringing you on now, sir.
Oh, it wasn't about finding the camera. It was I woke up, I was shirtless, I had to go run to the shower, I had to go shave. You understand?
It's good. You look amazing.
Well, I am pretty cute. That's what they say. So I won't take up all your time. I do want to come on and say hello. Here's the thing. I'm a comic book creator, right? I'm in the industry. I'm in Diamond Magazine. I've been in there 6 times. And if anyone wants to doubt that, here's the book right here. We just actually had our latest issue drop in comic book shops this Wednesday with that Paul Green cover right there. Okay.
All right. Nyobi, Birthright.
That's right. So we are published by Antarctic Press and have been for quite some time. So I'm coming to you as someone who's in. No, I'm not Marvel or DC. Let's be real here, right? But I am in the industry. You can get my books in shops, and we work with some great people like Mike DeBuffalo, okay, or Jamie Tyndall, okay, or Greg Bo Watson. And as far as CGC goes, we do that too. We have a creator account, and we've had Ben Dunn, the founder of Antarctic Press and Ninja High School. We got Keith Garvey, known for his work with Zenoscope. All right. So when it comes to various issues in comic books, and let's start, I'll pick on maybe one or two. Let's start with comic book shops dying. Okay.
Sure.
No one wants to hear the drama, but it's true, right? The reason why comic book shops are dying is because Marvel and DC aren't selling as well. And that could be for whatever reason. The reasons vary, right? It could be price point. It could be not enough shops. It could be kids just are reading more manga, whatever it is, right? In fact, it's all that and more, But I would say, and I've said this before, and we heard it on the roundtable, that if the quality of the books were better, maybe drop them by $1, I think that would be enough turnaround to actually bring people back into comic books. But there has to be a huge reset in order to do that. Like Marvel has to get rid of the creators who have brought them down, bring in creators who can bring them back up, bring in some of the old guys, bring in some hot new talent, make sure everyone's on the same page, and make a run for it. And then we'll see what really happens. But comic books the industry will die. if Marvel and DC shut their doors, and they got to sell more books, which means they need better product. So I'm not sure what their plans are to do that, but if I was in their business, I'd be very worried right now, because there are guys like me who are now sitting on the same shelf as Batman looking to get your dollar, right? I mean, it's just flat out. That's just the way it is,
100%.
And so if you are not, and some people love Marvel, some people don't, whatever. If you're unhappy, though, don't stop going to the shop. Go to the shop and ask that shop owner, hey, is there any other books you can recommend to me? Maybe they'll recommend you mine. Maybe they'll recommend you someone else's. But you might actually get something you like instead of closing the door. Because here's what happens. Like, comic books is more than just the world of collectors, right? And I get it. You guys love your 9/8. I mean, I do too, right? I like selling them. No, don't get me wrong. I'm a collector. I got 13 long boxes that are right over there, Alex, the comic hoarder, would know this, because Alex and I used to be friends. We would stream together. I streamed with the Great Legend Show, Comics with Bueller. I was one of the founding members of the Comic Core. I've been in this game, in the YouTube game, for a long, long time. You guys probably don't know me because I've sort of been on the creator side of things now, as opposed to talking about speculation and what's hot and what's not and all this sort of stuff. But I used to do all that, all of it. With regards to CGC, that's horrible. Look, Immaculate Comics went on the other day and showed just how easy it is, with a little tender love and care, how you can legit slide a book right out and slide another one right back in. That means all hype, as far as I'm concerned, all high price books are compromised. They're all compromised. CGC comes out with a statement that hundreds of books are compromised. That's being very conservative on their part. Because here's the thing, the book doesn't even have to go through them anymore to be compromised. If I say had a 9.8 Spider-Man 300, right? And I replace it with a 9.0 or an 8.5, slap it in the case, throw it up on eBay, and you buy it, and maybe you don't have the keen eye as some other collectors, you take a quick look and you go, oh, okay, cool, right? You put it away and you never look at it again. Then I take that actual 9.8 that I took out of the slab and replace it with the batter copy and resubmit it to CGC. And then I get it back and I can pull that scam all over again. You guys have to worry about that. CGC needs better cases, better tampering, because until that actually comes out, these Hulk 181s, these Spider-Man 252s, whatever these sort of, because no one's going to worry about, hey, you graded a comic for $20. That you're safe. You know what I mean? Because It's not worth their time to go through that effort to take out these books and stuff. So I wouldn't get overly worried. But if you got big boy books, and that's what we used to call them back in the day, big boy books, right? I would scrutinize your books a little bit more. And I would definitely I cannot wait for CGC to relist the list of compromised books, because that is going to be like getting the Epstein list for comics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, flat out, that's what it is, right? And everyone then is going to be looking. They're all going to grab their cases and they're all going to, look for that serial number. And I'm telling you, it's going to be more than one guy doing that. Yeah, CGC came out and said that was like hundreds of books that could be compromised from this one seller. And as I said in this video with Swaggelhaus here, that's conservative. I'm suspecting thousands. Thousands. Okay, it's just not one bad apple. It's probably a team of bad apples. And now that video, by the way, has circulated on YouTube, it was very eye-opening. The problem is now you just taught a whole shit ton of people how to do it.
I agree with that.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I feel of two minds about it, because it's on the one hand, it's like, well, this is great information in theory to put out there, but had Immaculate came to me and said, hey, Swag, I was thinking of making this video, blah, blah, I probably would have said, like, I think you can make it, but you probably should just edit out a couple parts.
Yeah, what would you edit out? Like the heat gun part?
Yeah, you could have just said and then not quite shown it, because like you said, I do think that it in some ways it added to the problem. In some ways it needed to be seen. But I agree with some of the things that you've said, that it is a problem in so much as this probably does open it up to where CGC has their hand forced now, where they probably have to come out with a new case.
They had to come out with that statement, right? And that took them a little bit. And then they said that they were going to have a private investigator. Why do you think they're having a private investigator for? Because they want to see how deep this rabbit hole really goes,
Well, I do think that I said in my video, I said that I hope they do a thorough investigation, because yes, clearly this person, the forums discovered that it's hundreds of books. This person was in on it, but there's nothing to say that someone else hasn't done this as well. So, you know, they're going to have to leave no stone unturned with how they look into this. And if something can be done, it probably has been done. You know, that's just the nature of it.
I love the comment here. Comic shops are dying because of overcharging and bad customer service. No, listen, you had 3 retailers come on with Mark Miller, and all of them told you guys the same thing. And these guys are the retailers for the largest comic book shops in the United States. And you still refuse to listen to them? That's another problem. You know, these are the guys with boots on the ground selling my product to people out there like you guys, okay? We depend on the shops. If Marvel and DC went down, the foot traffic stops going to the shops. By proxy, that destroys my business because people come in for Batman, right? They're going to go in for Batman, and hopefully when they walk by the shelf, they see something else cool. I know I did. When I was younger, right, you talked about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, right? I remember going in and buying my X-Men, you know, and I remember seeing Mirage Studios, Black and White Turtles, or Cerebus the Aardvark, or Ninja High School, or some of these other sort of unknown indie books. And I would pick them up because I was there for something else, but I grabbed it off the shelf. I was like, oh, this looks kind of cool. Without that foot traffic, comic books are in big trouble, right? If Marvel and DC do decide to shut down their doors, or the other possibility is that they outsource it, right? So maybe IDW licensed Spider-Man, or, you know, Boom Studios takes on the X-Men, because that's a possibility too. And we've already seen that because Marvel has out-licensed stuff for their children's line, right? You know, to these other companies. That's almost like a testing ground. You know, then you have DC Comics who are now trying to put out books in a manga format size to try and appeal to younger readers, right? So there's a huge scramble going on right now. It's like, how do we actually get people back interested in comic books? Because I'll tell you, if we don't get the younger kids reading comics again, they die with us. They'll become like the records, right? You know, records are cool and they're nostalgia and everyone buying them now. But those slabs that you got behind you, those are going to be the records of today's comic books. You know what I mean? And then comic books are eventually, at some point, probably, and I hate to say this because it would destroy my business, is going to go digital at some point. Because everyone is born now with a little device in their hands, and that's how they read and get their content, right? I can tell you that because I talk to younger kids all the time, especially when I see them at the shop. And I say, you know, what's it about comic books? Or, you know, why don't, you know, what's it about manga? And they're like, well, we love it because we can get it on our phone. You know, one guy told me he didn't want 13 long boxes in his house because it looked ugly. You know, you hear that story about how people rather buy the trades and the omnibuses. Well, if you do that, you're kind of hurting the overall end goal, because it is the floppies that pay to have those trades made. Without the floppy selling, you can't make the trade, right? Eric Larson came right out and just said this on a statement, you know? So if you really care about comics, I would say do a couple of things. Watch what you're doing with CGC. Be careful of that, because obviously we've seen the flaws and the scams, and I'm sure more is going to roll out as time goes on. And if you do go to the comic book shop and you're not seeing the stuff you like, give other stuff a try, because I'm sure there's some gems in there, bro.
Yeah. 100%.
And by the way, NYOBI Birthright did go on sale this Wednesday, so go pick it up.
Who Dat said, NYOBI one of the best. Congratulations on 1K.
So Who Dat Comics, that's oh god, I love Who Dat, because he was another guy that was around back in my day. Yeah. You know, him and Alex, and but like I can name drop a bunch of guys from back in the time, but I'm sure you would probably know all of them. So great to see Who Dat out there in the chat. Great to see Alex out there in the chat. Anyone else that knows me and I didn't quite see your name, great to see you out in the chat. I just want to let you guys know, it's been a few years, but I'm still doing my thing. NYOBI's a different beast now than when Alex and Who Dat first saw, because we were black and white. We might as well have been printing off a Xerox printer, right? And stapling our comic books together. We've grown so much. We do $30,000 Kickstarters now. We're published by Antarctic Press. And 2024 is going to be, you know, it's going to be a great year.
Absolutely. I hope so. I'll definitely go check out NYOBI. You guys should check out NYOBI. Great stuff. Great thoughts, great comments. And yeah.
Well, we talk about this stuff all the time. So the last shill I would say is come by my channel and see what it is that we do. All right, so there it is. Out of all the guys he could single out and, you know, clip from his live show, it was me. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. He's got 20,000 plus subscribers. 20,000. This video, as he dropped it 6 hours ago, has over 2,700 views as of 6 hours ago, of me, of yours truly. Thank you. Thank you. And it's not even painted in a bad light, which usually it is, right? This is in a good light, and I appreciate that. It has 73 comments here. Look. So let's read some of the comments. I know it might be tiny on the screen, but I will read them to you. The issue, no pun intended, isn't how many books are compromised. Oh, no, I would disagree with that. But how that it's easy to swap a book. Well, then, if it's easy to swap a book, then the issue is how many books are compromised. Okay? If it's that easy, that means a lot of books are compromised, and I would be worried. If it were only one book that was ever swapped out, it demonstrates a flaw in the entire system. That is correct. That's why it is about how many books are compromised. Flat out. Dr. Doom 69 says, this man speaking facts. That's right. With many YouTubers downplaying the issue, this is not a let's just forget about this issue. There probably isn't a worse issue a grading company could have. I agree. Alex the Comic Hoarder. Boom. We'll give him a like right now. Enjoy seeing Larry again. Love the format of this call-in show. Be careful throwing out the link in the chat. There were examples of open lobby shows in the past that went south very quick. Yeah, we remember that, Alex. We do. Because of dark personalities decided it'd be fun to show extremely inappropriate things on YouTube. Yep, that was a problem. It was a huge problem. I do think you do well keeping folks backstage until you can see them. Maybe a terms and conditions in the description. Great stuff. As always, seeing swag. There you go. Nyobi hit the nail right on the head. Basically, the comic book industry is in this situation because there are many in the industry that either dismiss or disdain for what collectors want. How many times have I gone in and said this on this program that half the buyer base for comic books are collectors? And I get guys like Tyler who want to argue this, but he just doesn't know this world. He's never swung on this side, and that's why he doesn't get it. But I have. And I want to thank you for pointing out the flaws in the CGC cases. Well, of course. I mean, that shouldn't take me to point it out. Unfortunately, I feel there is so many heavily invested in CGC that they are looking to the bright side too quickly. And I think Immaculate Comics was right to show fully how easy a case is to open. That was bound to happen sooner or later. I'm actually surprised someone didn't do it sooner. Yeah, same here, to be honest with you. I don't think it's a bad or a good thing. I just think, monkey see, monkey do sort of stuff. I don't care what anyone says. This is interesting. Thanks for the video and the commentary. You're a good dude, Swaggy H, and I enjoy your videos. If the big two comic book publishers collapse, it's their own fault. This guy is speaking straight facts. Blue Comic Guy says he hits all the points of why our industry is slowing down. Prices, writing, don't get me started with variant covers are a huge part of why Marvel and DC are slowing. As a comic retailer for the past 30 years, one of the constant bitches to the big two is you must make an all-ages comic line if you want to keep younger generations interested in the medium. Graphic novels are wonderful, but parents sometimes just want a Batman or Avengers comic for their 5-year-old. It is a constant problem that Marvel and DC just never want to address. Digital is not the answer. The perfect storm, the compromise of consumer confidence. The backbone has been driving CGC spec is the MCU. That has been compromised with so many failed projects. This will not be fixed in 2024. You add to that the CGC scandal, the fact that new comic books for years, John, have been losing ground. Interesting to see what impact the trifecta will have on this hobby. And at the end of the day, I will still enjoy collecting comics. Not CGC comics, but comics that I can hold and look at the cover to cover and enjoy these time capsules of pulp culture. Once the new cases come out, the old cases will be pretty worthless and no one will trust it. Facts. Facts, my friend. Facts. This dude is spot on. Great guest. Appreciate that. Best comment to defend Immaculate Comics. Like not show the heat gun? He's right. It's such a non-process that it's not that big how to reveal. If your lock can be broken by a light tap of a hammer, you're not revealing much. Listen to the man. He's speaking the hard truth. We have been in a market and a hobby completely driven by hype. And FOML, I'm not sure what that means. You guys stop using this internet speak on me. All that matters is cool covers. The only stories I hear anyone talk about anymore is the one that's a hype book. everything else is just a cover grab. It's not sustainable. That could be true. They need to stop with all the woke stuff in comics. No one wants political agendas pushed down their throats in anything, let alone comics. Maybe CBCS should put the verification numbers on the inner weld that holds the comic book and matches the slab. Yeah, I think you will see that. I'm not going to read all these comments. There's a fucking ton of them, guys. But as you can see, a lot of it, I haven't seen one against me yet. Holy shit, that guy does a lot of coke. No, I don't. Coca-Cola. That's what I do. Coca-Cola. Grading is a joke anyways. Wow, he likes to talk. Fuck yeah, I'm a talker. I'm a school teacher. I said this before. Kids on our phones are too often, so comics need to go digital or the hobby is doomed. How about get them off the phone? Don't trust any comic book owners in Cali. All have bad attitudes, haters, overpriced, sell your books, and say they didn't get them in. It's all about making the dollar. No one cares about morals, right? I gave up on superhero comics after 4 years. It's just not sustainable to retell the same old story over and over. They need to produce less comics and just give up on continuity. They should just have the writers write whatever they want. I just read indies now and the gory Hulk. Swag tries to bite his lip, LOL. Love the show, but some callers need to learn to take a breath and give you an opportunity to jump in or comment. That was my floor at that time. He had the opportunity to speak when I was done. Grading books, not a single page, but every page plus both covers. Do they do that for other books? Books are super expensive, so why not? Probably because it's dumb. There is digital. There it is, digital. The writing is on the wall. Well, a lot of people have been saying that. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Superman, Batman copyrights go into the public domain in a few years. I never bought any graded books. CGC has ruined the hobby for me. Didn't want 10 long boxes in this house because it's ugly. I hear you. I only have a few slab comics in my condo, but I have around 300 readable, sellable NFT comics on my phone. NFTs? What the fuck, dude? If Marvel and DC are selling less because the kids are reading manga, then if the comic shops want to survive, they should be selling manga. But that's not a comic book shop anymore, is it? Now it's a manga shop. If Marvel and DC want to survive, they need to improve. But comics in some form will still continue if they don't. Yeah, but it'll never be at the height that it once was. You're never going to see 8 million copies sold by Jim Lee and Chris Claremont for X-Men #1 anymore, are you? Even on digital. You're just not going to see it, you know? So there it is, guys. Go ahead and have a look. Again, the Swaggle Haas is the show. You can go watch the full entire show to see everyone else's bits and pieces other than yours truly. I'm going to drop a couple other videos tonight. I don't know if I'm going to go live. If I do, it just might be for some chill gaming streams. I'm going to be on the BC Presents. Like right now, they're calling my name. So I got to go ahead and go do that. But I want to thank you for coming to the video. Please like and sub, and stay tuned for this video sponsor. All right, guys, if you're wondering who today's video sponsor is, look no further. It is me, Austin. It is me all along. And I just like to talk about, people ask, I like to buy NYOBI. How do I get some pigtails in my life? Where do I get started? Do you have any sites? What can I do to get your books in my hands? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we're going to provide you that answer right meow. So here it goes, man. The first way you can do it, and probably the best way, is to my Shopify store. You can access that at nyobicomics.myshopify.com, or you can simply go to the YouTube channel where you're watching this video now. Go to the main page and click on Store. There you will see NYOBI items up for grabs. Just click on one and proceed from there. Now, let's say you're an eBay buyer. You like eBay, use eBay? Well, we got you covered there. eBay.ca, USR, Nyobicomic. If you just type in NYOBI on eBay, you're going to find me. I got several listings there. And on eBay, typically you're going to find the harder to get variants, a little bit of our more expensive items, and harder to find back issues. So if collectibles are your thing, eBay is where you want to go for more NYOBI. Where else can you get NYOBI? Maybe eBay's too expensive for you. Maybe you read on a budget. Maybe you like having books on a tablet, on a phone, read them on your PC, whatever. So get NYOBI at Gumroad, nyobicomics.gumroad.com. It's great for those who read on digital. We got lots of great items there. You can buy them for $5 or less. NYOBI on digital, gumroad.com. Now, the other way you can get NYOBI is by going to your local comic book shop. Just the other day, NYOBI Birthright was released by Antarctic Press and in shops nationwide, worldwide. So go into your local comic shop, ask if they have any NYOBI. If they don't, ask them if they can order it. And if we happen to be in a time where we haven't released anything in a little while, maybe see if there's any NYOBI in those back issue bins. So NYOBI at your local comic book shop. But that's not all. You go to antarcticpress.myshopify.com. Antarctic Press, of course, is the label that publishes NYOBI. You can go ahead and buy NYOBI directly from them online as well. So go ahead and give Antarctic Press, give AP some love, and tell Ben Dunn I said hello. But that's not it, folks. Our major way to get NYOBI, our preferred way, honestly, when it comes right down to the end of it here, is you can get NYOBI on Kickstarter when we release them. We'll be doing NYOBI Outbreak number 3 in March. We'll have all the NYOBI goodies that you can shake a stick at, plus Savage Sim, plus NYOBI Penguina, plus more. NYOBI Kickstarter. Kickstarter is where our biggest fan base is. It's where we make the most amount of money. It is what we plug the most. All those other things I went over just a little while ago, those are great if you're looking to catch up. If you're looking to get the latest, greatest, the newest issue of NYOBI as it comes out, Kickstarter is the way to go. But with that being said, however you get NYOBI in your life, we appreciate it. NYOBI 2024 is going to be the year of the pigtail. We got so much lined up, man. It's going to be crazy. So thank you very much for tuning in to this video. Stay tuned for more videos. And just know, I'm always the sponsor, Austin.